All right, welcome everybody. This is episode 20, October 2024, the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream. Thank you guys all for being at formation on time. If you are here watching, appreciate you being here. If this is your first time here at the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream, let you know a little bit about what's going on. We're going to talk about military topics. We're going to talk about veteran-owned whiskeys. We're going to honor the fallen. We're going to remember everyone deployed. We're going to talk about things that happened in history on this month, and we're going to drink some veteran-owned whiskey while we do it. And you don't have to drink and drive, and you don't have to drink alone. That's why we're doing it here. I'm going to drop the link in the chat, so any of you guys that want to join can join, because this is an open bar. Now, there's other YouTube channels that claim to be an open bar, but they don't let just everybody on here. This is a true open bar. It's like we're sitting at a bar together, just drinking whiskey together, telling war stories. Just good times. There's already a bunch of people in the house. Ben from the north, thanks for joining from Canada. As the Irish guys can see, 100,000 welcomes to y'all. Cheers. Hey, thank you, Ben. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Tater Dom's in the house. Stacy is in the house. I'm going to be drinking some Irish whiskey with Stacy tomorrow afternoon. I'm super excited about that. Pecker House, Bill's in the house. What's up, Bill? Good to see you guys. Mr. Mom is here. Lee, the Bourbon Hunter, is here. Good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys being at formation on time. Greatly appreciated. Man, I've got a lot of stuff to cover with you guys today. It is the month of October. Lots of great stuff that I've found for us to watch. Some videos about things that happened in history. And let's get on to that first topic. I've got a very structured and organized thing here that we do. One of the first things we do is we pour a glass together. And this veteran-owned whiskey of the month is Cold Zero American whiskey. I know that there's a bunch of Medal of Honor recipients that are behind this brand. Cork pop. And I'm going to pour the first into the infinity bottle, because this is just an American whiskey. It's not finished or anything. So the first pour is going right into the infinity bottle. Second pour I'm going to review with you. And we're going to find out what this one is all about. So let me put it up on the board. That is our veteran whiskey of the month. Cold Zero. Let's do it in green. All right, Cold Zero is the veteran whiskey of the month. Let's go ahead and pin that link. I'm going to pin the link. Oh, and I'm going to set up the poll. If you guys haven't been here before, every month I have a poll in the chat so we can see which military branch represents the strongest. It's a lot of fun. And so engage with your audience. Let's start a poll. We're going to find out which military branch is repping the strongest today. Let's see. A poll. Ask a question. Which military branch did you or your family serve in? All right, so we are going to put Army. Who we did? The Coast Guard? Because we have Navy and Marines together. Now, the reason why I do this is because there's only 4 slots. YouTube only allows 4 slots in the poll, so I can't have, like 6 different poll options. So Navy and Marines are going to be together because they are. We'll do Air Force and Space Force. Let's add another option for another country's military. Because we always get a few of those in here, other countries' military. All right, so the poll is going in the chat right now. There it is. You guys make sure to vote in the chat. Which branch is going to represent the strongest? And if you have a theory of which branch is going to represent the strongest, you can put that in the chat as well. If you're taking any bets. Let's see. I need to pin the link to the top. That way anybody who comes in later can see the link, or else it's going to get buried in the comments. StreamYard, pin the message. There we go. All right, so the message is pinned to the top. Anybody who wants to jump on, you're more than welcome to pull up a bar stool and chat it up. Thank you, veterans, for your service. Hey, thank you, Stacy. Appreciate you. Ben's here. Is the sound okay? Microphone good? Audio? I want to make sure everything's coming in loud and clear because we're about to get into some stuff. All right, first I got to finish off this. Not finish off. I'm not going to drink the whole bottle tonight. We're going to be responsible. We're going to make sure we are drinking as much water as we are drinking whiskey. So if there's a moderator or somebody in the chat, like every 10 minutes, just yell out, drink water or hydrate, put it in the comments. Make sure we're all drinking as much water as we're drinking whiskey. We're not drinking alone. We're not drinking and driving. Let's try out this Cold Zero. First time ever trying it. Oh, that's better than I thought it was going to be. It really is. It's like a $35 bottle, I think. So this is coming from Cedar Ridge. I've liked everything I've tried from Cedar Ridge. It also says on the bottle that there are some additions from Kentucky and or Indiana. So I'm thinking that they do different batches maybe. And there's another, I'm not getting any kind of nuttiness like Heaven Hill or anything. So I'm guessing that the Kentucky whiskey is Green River. But it doesn't disclose that on the bottle. It says Kentucky and or Indiana. So sounds like they do some blending, but that most of it is from select casks from Cedar Ridge. And I know from a thing, I was reading their website and stuff before jumping on here. I think they either work really closely with Cedar Ridge or some of them are actually like work there or something because they seem like they're pretty tight. I'm going to invite the guys from Cold Zero to be on the show. I want to interview them, have them here so we can get a good interview going on. Audio is good. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I want to invite them on the show to get the veterans that are responsible for this onto the show. Like I said, this is like a $35 bottle, and it's got a nice, very easy to drink. Nothing sharp or stands out really in the flavor profile. It's got some, nice, easy drinking of vanilla and some light fruit notes, almost like a pear, but not quite. I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm glad. So, veteran whiskey of the month is Cold Zero. Cheers, Mark, everybody in the chat. What's up, Big Cat? How you doing, AA Ron? It's good to see you, buddy. So I have to go get my wife from work in 90 to 100 minutes. No worries. Right on. Tater Dom, what's up, buddy? Bill Reynolds, what is up, my friend? It's good to see you. Bill Reynolds is in the house. Bourbon Hunter, cheers to you. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Appreciate that. So, yeah, veteran whiskey of the month is Cold Zero. I saw that they have a special edition bottle that's cast strength at the PX for like $115, I want to say. And the one I saw was signed by two Medal of Honor recipients. One that's local here, Sergeant First Class Petrie. I got to meet him. He lost his right hand throwing a grenade back that got thrown at him and his troops. And I saw a signed bottle from him at the PX of these guys. And so I want to try their special edition bottle. I just had to try their base offering first before I went and bought the $115 bottle, because I'm like, I'm gonna try your basic stuff first before I jump into that big one. But like I said, I'm gonna reach out to the veterans there and invite them to be on the show. Hopefully, I can get them on for an interview. You guys know how much fun the interviews are here on this show. All right, so next we're gonna honor the fallen. Every month we talk about honoring the fallen. They are still remembered as long as we still say their name. So the first person on my list is Sergeant Fletcher. He was born October 16th. He would have been 44 this month. He was our supply sergeant, and you know what they say, when you're in especially a ground unit, you treat the medics well, you treat supply well, and you treat the S1, the human resources people well, because they're the ones that process like your pay, they process your awards, all that stuff. So you want to treat them good, you want to treat supply good, and you want to treat the cooks well as well. So Sergeant Fletcher was our supply sergeant in 10. I get mixed up. No, he was in triple nickel. Right? Anyways, he was in triple nickel. That's right. With me as our supply sergeant, and he took his own life a few years ago. And we'll talk more about that here in a minute. But also, I had on the list Sergeant Colors. Sergeant Colors was a wild man. He was hilarious. I got a thing here. So Sergeant Colors, good dude, very outspoken, fun guy. I met at 10th Mountain Division, and he was killed in Afghanistan, and he was in the motor pool, and it was during a rocket attack, and he was killed because he was one of our mechanics, and he was killed in the motor pool. There was also sent to me was someone else. Hey, where is it? Sorry, just let me find where that is. I lost it. Sorry, District Bravery. There it is. All right, I got asked to share about Captain Jennifer Moreno. And she was killed in the Zari district in Afghanistan in 2013. She was a medic from Madigan here on Joint Base Lewis McChord. And she went to help some people, and because she was a medic, and she lost her life in the Zari district of Afghanistan. Yeah, they were performing a raid at a enemy bomb-making compound in the Zari district. And so we want to remember Captain Moreno and Sergeant Colors and Sergeant Fletcher. If you guys have anybody that you lost, I know that the Bourbon baller Lee, his dog just passed away. And if any of you guys are dog lovers like me, you know that is rough. And so I'm gonna throw Lee's dog on here. Captain Marino. Colors and Fletcher. Let me get my. I've got a special bottle that I always pour a shot to the fallen. It's a personally signed bottle of Horse Soldier Barrel Strength. So if any of the rest of you guys have somebody else that you want to throw up on the board, I'll give you a second to do that. I'd like to add Bobby. Hey, Mr. Mom, thanks. I appreciate you. I'll add Bobby H on the board. Water. Yep, hydrate. Thank you. Appreciate you, Ben. Drink some water to that. What's up, Richie Z? Good to see you, buddy. Chad's in the house. Sorry, finished class. Chad. Thank you very much for sharing. Greatly appreciate it. Yep, good to see you, Bakers. I miss you guys this week. Independent Joe's in the house. Feel free to jump on. Anybody that wants to jump on and pull up a bar stool, you're more than welcome. Good evening, guys. What's up, Marvin? Whiskey Wine 101 is in the house. All right, we're gonna raise a glass to the fallen, lest we forget. So Valhalla. Cheers. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. So I told you that Sergeant Fletcher took his own life, and that's definitely something that's far too common with military personnel, especially ones that have gone overseas and seen some things. And so, in recognition that that is an issue, to bring it up as a topic of concern, there is a tradition of doing 22 push-ups in honor, or not, doing 22 push-ups in recognition that that is a significant issue across the ranks, and that we need to keep the mental health awareness, which, from what I understand, next week is Mental Health Week or something. So every week we knock out 22 push-ups. Troy from Baker Drinks and I have started a thing where we add a push-up each month, as I was. And I believe we're up to 27, right, Troy? And so if you are willing and able, knock out 22 push-ups for the fallen. And Troy, we're doing 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Man, that feels good. Bourbon is in the house. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, you missed formation. You're going to have to do extra push-ups, buddy. Tommy D, aim high. Good to see you, my man. A wizard is never late. I love it. It's a Lord of the Rings joke. If you guys don't get it. All right, so we honored the fallen. Oh, excuse me, man. Feels good getting that blood flowing. So there was something that I was going to tell you. So Bourbon, Mr. Whiskey Uncensored. One of the things in the AAR comments that he told me last month is that he wants me to include some things about myself when we're talking about this kind of stuff going on. And I just wanted to share that, let's see, we brought up Captain Marino, right? Where'd she go? Hold on. Where'd she go? So we talked about her and that she was killed in the Zari district in Afghanistan, right? So if some of you guys don't know where that is, hold on, let me get rid of this. Boom. So the Zari district is in Kandahar province in southern Afghanistan. And so you see right here, it is located on the north bank of the Arghandab River. See this right here, Arghandab River. Bear with me. Present. So this is me. This is me. And that is the Arghandab River. So I was in the Zari district, the same district that she was killed in. Our guys were deployed there about a year and a half before her, and that was like the worst place in Afghanistan that I've been. And Sergeant Colors, the one who died on October 30th that I talked to you guys about earlier, that's the same area that he was killed in. And so tying all three of those together, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's a terrible area. Absolutely terrible. The other places in Afghanistan I've been to, were not nearly as bad as that. I would go back to the other places because they were down to, shoot it out with you and trade bullets on that two-way range. But the guys in the Zari district were dirty bomb makers, man. William Hall is in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. All right, so we are going to move on to the next topic, which is military news. So today is October 5th. If you guys know other things that happened in the month of October, the 3rd of October, which was 2 days ago, which was Thursday, on the Thursday night live stream, I talked a little bit about the battle at Mogadishu, right? The Battle of Mogadishu was on October 3rd. And so today is the 31st anniversary of the Battle of Mogadishu. And so there was 2 Medal of Honor recipients from that incident, Battle of Mogadishu. And so we are going to do the normal Medal of Honor recipient later. But right now, I found a video that highlights the special action that those 2 at the Battle of Mogadishu took. So let's watch a video. Let's watch a video. Hold what you got. There's a lot of good history in October, and get there in a second, but I got to show you this first. All right, like I said, it's an open bar if anybody wants to jump on and join. But for now, grab a glass of whiskey and check this out. This is really good.
Here's another fun fact from the movie Black Hawk Down. One of the most powerful, and in my opinion, one of the most important scenes in the entire movie is a radio conversation between the commander of our forces, Major General William Garrison, and two special operators, Gary Gordon and Randy Shugart.
Out advancing 6-7 blocks from the crash. Shugart and Gordon again request permission to secure until convoy arrives. Over.
General, crowds in the hundreds now. From where they are, they can see things clearer than any of us. They know what they're asking.
Let me talk to him. This is Garrison. I want to make sure that y'all understand what you're asking for, so say it out loud and clear.
We're asking to go in and set up a perimeter until ground support arrives.
And you realize that I cannot tell you when that might be. It could take quite a while.
Roger that.
You still want to go in there?
Yes, sir.
Well, Harold?
Yes, General.
It's your call.
Roger that. Govina, put him in.
They ask more than once if the commander will allow them to go on foot to Mike Durant's crash site. More than once, General Garrison denies that request. And then a third time, they ask, will you authorize us to move on foot to the crash site? What you see in the movie Black Hawk Down is very, very powerful, but it's not nearly as powerful as real life. I think perhaps one of the bravest things I've heard warriors do on the battlefield, I wasn't there and I didn't see it with my eyes, but I heard the full story after it was over with, is the conversation between General Garrison and Shugart and Gordon. These guys basically said, we know that if we don't go in on foot, there is no hope of the guys at that crash site surviving. We also know that if we go in on foot, there is no guarantees that we're going to come out alive. And Garrison wanted to make sure that these guys understood what they were asking. Now, these are very experienced warriors. Of course, they've got an idea of what they're asking. But Garrison also knows that there's a high probability these two guys won't come out of the city streets alive. And he wants to hear it from their own mouth before he gives them permission to go in the city streets. I believe this is perhaps the most powerful moment in the whole movie because it really depicts the kind of warriors that I had the privilege of serving with on those city streets in Mogadishu. The kind of guys that said, I know I'm not going to survive tomorrow if I do this, but my buddy's life is more valuable to me than my own. And so I'm willing to go into that crash site on foot. I'm willing to ride back out into those city streets on those Humvees. I'm willing to drive down the same ambush alley that I've been down more than once in hopes of bringing my brothers back alive. I can't tell you what an honor it is to be able to have stood in the ranks and served with warriors like Shugart, Gordon, and others that were on those city streets in Mogadishu, Somalia. And I hope that you think about what you're hearing and what's going on in the heart of these two warriors when they ask permission to go move on foot and secure the crash site, which will eventually cost them their lives. And our nation, the United States, will recognize this by awarding them the highest honor a military service member will ever receive, the Medal of Honor. I just wanted you to understand this scene. My little fun fact for you from the movie Black Hawk Down.
Yep, October 3rd. Oh my goodness, that was really well done. Thank you guys for watching that with me. I was glad to find that video to share with you guys. When it comes to significant military history events that happened in the month of October, every month we find really interesting things and really meaningful, powerful things to go over of things that have happened in this month that people just don't talk about enough. Also, by the way, I have to pour another glass of Cold Zero because my glass has run dry. And this Veterans whiskey pick, I'm digging it. I haven't had anything from Cedar Ridge I don't like, and I like that. So I'm gonna have to get the owners on and talk to them about what their process is. It says that they're select casks from Cedar Ridge that are masterfully blended with some Kentucky and or Indiana whiskey. So it sounds like they do some picking and choosing with what they get from Kentucky and Indiana to see what mixes best with some of the stuff they're doing at Cedar Ridge for their Cold Zero. And I can't wait to have these guys on the show. I'm gonna reach out to them and see if they'll come on an interview. But for now, aside from Bourbon landing in the house, what's up, Bourbon?
I'm my cousin Ethan.
Oh, what's up, cousin Ethan? Good to see you, man.
Doing a little set reorg here, trying to organize some shit, and
Cheers.
I gotta pour something. Actually, hang on.
Yeah, I see you got a new shelf behind you. Oh, you
Yeah,
got the
new old repurposed.
Hey, dude, Heroes. That's 1783 Heroes is just a good one. It's just good. So Bourbon, dude, have you heard of
what The Rock is cooking?
Michael Thornton?
The name is quite familiar. I will say that.
Medal of Honor recipient. So every month we find a Medal of Honor recipient that did actions in the month that we're talking about. And when there was no question that we were going to be sharing Michael Thornton's video. It's longer than most of the videos I share. I usually try to find something less than 5 minutes. This one's a bit longer, but it's definitely worth it. So grab a tall glass of whiskey and check this out.
My mom and dad were both hard workers, and my father was my hero in my life. It's what he is still today. He went to work in a cotton mill at the age of 11 years old and supported his family. And I saw the movie The Frogmen with Richard Whitmire about the Navy frogmen in Korea. And I was a good swimmer. I love the water. I love water. I've been around the water all my life. And I said, well, I got to join the thing. I want to join the Navy, and I want to be a frogman. I knew that right off the bat.
South Carolina native Michael Thornton enlisted in the Navy after high school. He went through underwater demolition recruit training, and out of a class of 129, was one of 12 chosen to become a member of the elite Navy SEALs. On October 31st, 1972, with the war winding down and few American troops left on the ground, Thornton was sent in with 4 other SEALs on a night mission. They were to gather information on the North Vietnamese and their inexorable advance to the south.
Tommy Norris was the senior SEAL on the ground. Myself and Tommy and 3 Vietnamese SEALs, 2 were which I had picked. I handpicked them for a reason. On 2 different tours I'd been to Vietnam, both these guys had worked for me, and they sent a young Vietnamese SEAL officer with us. And what they were going to do, they were going to take 2 Navy destroyers. And these guys are setting off the shoreline when they shoot what they call a vector with the radar. Later on, we found out the ship to the south of us shot the vector almost 2 degrees to the north. So when this went like this, he went to the north. They put us almost into North Vietnam. So we slipped into this boat, paddled so close through the water, then we slipped into the water, and we swam the rest of the way into the shore. So there we are patrolling all through. Tommy's on point. We got the 3 Vietnamese in the middle, and I'm at rear security. And we're walking through areas that had been no way in hell they could have built all this stuff up in 2 months. So then, right then, we knew we were way north. So we're heading back out to the east. To our south, we could see this village. Heard dogs barking and stuff like that. We looked off to our left, and there was a big, gigantic lagoon to the north of us. So we wanted to get as far away as we could from the village, so we moved down the beach. Even though we're going north and we knew we were going in the wrong direction, we thought we'd move down that way. So we went through about 4 sets of sand dunes, and we came to this one gigantic sand dune which stood by itself. Tommy got on the radio. Well, Quan comes crawling up and says, "Mike," and he goes like this and points out this way, means he sees 2 enemy. So I took Ty and I gave him a hush puppy, which is a silenced .22 weapon, and I moved him down about 200 yards, 150 yards from where I was, and put him in this inside dune. And I told him, when I take this guy out here, I want you to sneak up behind this guy and eliminate him. So the guy comes through the sand dunes. I'm like this. He comes through. I take the butt of my weapon, and I've got the other guy in the corner of my eye. I could see he was way ahead of us, and I just knocked this guy cold and dragged him up the beach. Then Quan came down and grabbed him and turned him around, and he handcuffed him. And I started crawling down the sand dune line, and I was going like this to Ty to sneak behind the guy and shoot the guy. Ty stood up and yelled, "La de Malin," in Vietnamese, which "stop, come here." This guy's got an AK-47. He underslings his rifle and starts shooting at Ty. Ty jumps back behind the dune. I get up, I take a long shot and miss. He started running because he saw me running after him. So I'm hauling can, and he goes up into the trail, up into the woods and the jungle, heading towards that village. And he beat me 2 there, and I got there, and he's running down the trail, and I stopped on one knee, took 2 breaths, and cranked off 2 rounds and hit him in the back, and the guy fell. But when I looked up, there was a quick reaction force coming with the village with about 50 guys. So I turned around, started running back. Tommy sees me running back. He took one of these laws and opened it up, and he shot it in the tree line. He wasn't trying to hit any of the bad guys. He just wanted to hit a tree to get a large explosion. And it did hit a tree, and it exploded. These guys got down because they didn't know what they were coming against. Well, I'm on the point, and these guys were coming in, and they were leapfrogging. One group would come this way, and they were in 3 different groups. One was trying to flank us, and what I'd do, these guys would stick their head up. So when they tried to come in a vast thing, I was knocking them down pretty fast. This firefight lasted for for several hours. And I'd known that we had killed probably over 30 of these guys, basically. And these guys made one last blast. Well, they had moved up to the sand dune. They had got me kind of pinpointed to one sand dune. I couldn't get rolled. They had guys shooting it each way. And Tommy was trying to take some fire down this way, and I was on the sand dune. Well, they threw this Chi-Com grenade over. So I rolled over, the grenade went off, and I was hit like 6 times in my back. And I yelled and said nothing else. And you could hear Tommy yelling, "Mike, Mike." So I laid on my back like this, and about 4 guys came over the top of this sand dune, and I shot all 4 of them. 2 fell down. One of them fell on top of me. The one fell down. The other 2 fell backwards. And I figured that time we had already wiped out more than, I'd say, 2/3 of the group. And they didn't try to advance anymore. So I looked across this lagoon, counted 75 bad guys coming this way. I look at them, there's that many going this way. I looked down the beach and I only see Dang come back by himself. I said, Dang, where's Tommy? Where's Dawee? And he says, Mike, Dawee's dead. I said, what? Dawee's dead. I said, are you sure? And I could see these guys overtaking position and stuff like that. And I said, you guys stay here. And I said, I'll go back for Tommy. I went back across the open fire and they were firing at me. And these and my two other guys were giving me cover fire. And I was shooting guys. I got to the position where Tommy was last at. And he was laid on the side of the sand dune. And 5 guys were overtaking him. And I killed those 5 guys. And I grabbed Tommy and put him on my shoulders. And I heard this coming in.
Just as Thornton was making his way back, the ships arrived and began firing at the enemy.
The concussion blew me almost 20 feet in the air, and I had Tommy, he was on my shoulders, and his body flew off my shoulders and hit the ground. And I got up, and of course, this concussion. Of course, when I heard another 8-inch coming in, and that's, oh God. It got those guys' attention real fast, so they all fell back, and I went over and saw Tommy and picked him up, and he said, Mike, buddy, this son of a gun was still alive. Didn't have enough time to do any type of first aid, so I grabbed him, picked him back up. These guys saw me running again. Several guys started running around on the ocean side. They were just hauling. I turned around, I fired at them. I looked back, and my 2 boys were still there, Dang and Quan. Quan and Dang had used all their ammunition. They started swimming. I said, swim, swim. They started swimming, and I was using the last of my ammunition. And I got to the surf zone, and I grabbed Tommy, and I put Tommy in my front of me like this. I started swimming like this, and these guys were chasing us, and they were shooting. And as we swam through the surf zone, you could see the bullets just going through the water, just like you do in the movie. Well, I look over to my right, and there's little Dang over floundering in the water. He was shot through his right hip and blew off his whole cheek of his butt, and he couldn't swim. So I grabbed him, put him in front of me, and had him wrap his arms around me like this. I had my arms underneath his arms, and he held on to Tommy, and I started this breaststroke, and I swam for approximately 3.5 hours.
He's carrying both of them?
Thornton towed his comrade seaward for hours until they were eventually spotted and brought aboard an American ship.
Tommy got back to Da Nang. They took him to Clark's Air Force Base, and his first operation was 19.5 hours long. And we still said he wasn't going to make it. And that was on October the 31st, 1972. I'd found out I'd been put in for the medal. They said the only time it was really questioned was in front of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he said, how can I do all this and still be alive? And the Chief of Naval Operations, you tell me how a dead man does it, and I'll answer your question, General. And that was it. It was signed and gone through it. So I went back on October the 15th to receive the medal. I try to tell these kids of how many great sacrifices that people have had to give you the freedom to be able to do what you're doing today. How many great men and women have lost their lives to honor us. But I think everybody has to sacrifice for something great. Nothing's given to you. You have to work for it. And I received my medal actually going back in to rescue Tommy. And we have a love for each other greater than brothers. It's just until you die together almost, and understand what living's all about. And then I look at life a lot different than everybody else, and a lot of other people, because I live every day to my fullest, and which we all do in our own little way.
Goodness gracious, man! Just a quick recap. So him and his group are in Vietnam. They come up on a whole group of enemy soldiers, and after they kill 2/3 of them, he gets a grenade thrown in his foxhole, and he gets injured by the grenade that lands right next to him. And after getting blown up, he rolls over and shoots and kills the 4 guys jumping on top of him. And then he links up with the other people in his group, and they said that his buddy got killed, and he said, I got to go back and get his body. And he found 5 enemies in that area. So he kills all 5 of them after getting injured by this grenade, and throws his buddy on his shoulders to walk him out of there. then gets fucking blown up by the concussion of artillery coming in. And then they jump, they run out, they jump in the water and swim away while he's carrying his buddy swimming. I don't know if you guys have ever carried anything swimming. If you carry anything while you're swimming, it's encumbering. It sucks. He's carrying his buddy. And then his other buddy gets fucking shot while they're swimming. And so he has his other buddy grab onto him. And so he swims out with both guys hanging on to him until like hours later they get onto a ship. That's bananas. Oh, Independent Joe is in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Hey, it's good to see you, man. Dude, so if you guys were not familiar with Medal of Honor recipient Michael Thornton, we just got the down and dirty familiarization class 101. That dude is a freaking certified badass. Vic's here. Brian Slapshot's in the house. What's up, buddy? This guy's a certified badass. Yep, yeah, man. That's what I was just saying. 4 hours. Yes. He said he swam for hours. Prescription Bourbon. DMC is in the house. What's up, man? Joe, are you drinking tonight? Oh, you're muted, bro.
No, I'm taking the night off.
Okay. Right on. That's super responsible of you. I appreciate you coming on. Talking about this stuff going on in the Veterans Whiskey live stream. And so when you look at the events that happened in history, hold on, where's the military history in October? So there's a good amount of military history that happened in October. Like we just talked about, the Battle of Mogadishu was October 3rd. And we just went over a Medal of Honor recipient who did a lot of badass stuff. Old Navy SEAL Michael Thornton in October in Vietnam. But what you might not know, let me bring this up because this is hilarious. Did you guys know that October 9th is Navy Day? Like, you know how every day of the week has like, I mean, not every day has a different like National Bagel Day or whatever. So in October is legit Navy Day. And so I have found a little video to share in recognition of Navy Day, and it was started in World War II. Drink water.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Martin. I'm a historian at the National World War II Museum.
And I'm Joshua Schick. I'm a curator here at the National World War II Museum.
We're in the Road to Tokyo Gallery at the museum today to commemorate Navy Day.
75 years ago, on October 27th, 1945, a representative of 47 naval ships arrived in New York City to commemorate Navy Day and the end of World War II.
Created by the Navy League of the United States in 1922, Navy Day was a nationally celebrated holiday that included fleet reviews and port visits until it was superseded by Armed Forces Day in 1949. The gathering in October 1945 would be the largest ever Navy Day celebration, with ships stretching for 7 miles up and down the Hudson River and an estimated 5 million in attendance. The procession of ships included some of the most famous fighting ships of World War II. In addition to President Harry S. Truman, the guests of honor were the battle-scarred carrier USS Enterprise and the mighty USS Missouri.
USS Missouri, the newest battleship in the United States Navy, had just returned from the Pacific Theater where she hosted the Japanese surrender ceremony on September 2nd, 1945. Chosen for this honor due to her status as flagship of the Third Fleet, the Missouri arrived in Tokyo Bay on August 27th in preparation for the ceremony a few days later. After the surrender, she began her long trip back to the United States with the ultimate goal of attending the Navy Day celebration.
In his remarks, President Truman said, "On opposite sides of the world, across 2 oceans, our Navy opened a highway for the armies and air forces of the United States. They landed our gallant men, millions of them, on the beachheads of final triumph. Fighting from Murmansk, the English Channel, and the Tyrrhenian Sea, to Midway, Guadalcanal, Leyte Gulf, and Okinawa, they won the greatest naval victories in history. Together with their brothers in arms in the Army and Air Force, and with the men of the Merchant Marine, they have helped to win for mankind all over the world a new opportunity to live in peace and dignity, and, we hope, in security."
These reflections of triumph also came with a reflection on sacrifice. Of the millions that entered service in the U.S. Navy, over 100,000 were killed by all causes, marking their ultimate sacrifice for victory at sea. They served, as the Navy motto says, not for self, but for country.
Thank you for joining us today.
See y'all next time.
All right, so like I said, this month, National Navy Day. So we're throwing that up, recognizing Navy Day. And let's take a look at the poll. The poll in the chat is, which military branch did you or your family serve in? And right now, Army/Coast Guard is representing strong at 39%. Navy Marines is representing really strong at 32%. Air Force/Space Force is 14%, tied with other countries' military. So 14% of the watchers right now are have themselves or family members served in another country's military. I greatly appreciate all you guys being here and going through this with me and looking at honoring our veterans. Let's see.
The
Cheers,
Navy,
everyone. Joey B's in the house. What's up, Joe?
the Navy's birthday is October 13th, by the way.
Yes. That's official Navy Day, right?
Well, you said the Navy Day was the 9th.
I might have done a verbal typo.
But the actual birthday of the Navy is October 13th.
Okay, I think that might have been a verbal typo. I'll have to check my notes. Cold Zero is honored to have 6 Medal of Honor recipients that have hand-signed our Cold Zero 115 proof wine cask finished 5-year aged whiskey. Hey, Chad, dude, I would love to get you guys on the show to do an interview. We have a completely different interview style than any other podcast on any other format. It has the highest percentage of audience participation than any other platform. And so I'd love to get you guys on and interview you on the show. I thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And this Cold Zero that I'm drinking tonight is pretty freaking good. I like it. Drink water. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you, man. Drinking water. Big, thank you for your service, you vets. Thanks, man. Navy Pacific Theater liberated my wife's homeland in the Philippines. Yes, absolutely, buddy. Oh my goodness. Brian, hey, I hope your buddy is doing okay. Sexiest panel of whiskey tubers I've ever seen. Ever. We'd love to be on the show. Yeah, you got to come on for an interview, man. I'm digging this format. Very cool. Honor to be here. Hey, Chad, appreciate you, man. Sunshine Corner's in the house. What's up? It's great to see you. I always love it when you stop in. Which state is Cold Zero located? So I've got a really, really good bottle.
Cheers, Sunshine.
So Cedar Ridge is in Iowa. And Cold Zero, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys contract distill with Cold Zero, right? Or do some of your guys actually work at Cold Zero? We'll get into the nuts and bolts of that when you guys come on the show. Yeah, Cold uses, so it sounds like contract distilling. Roger that. Appreciate you being here. Freaking awesome. But that is the veteran whiskey of the month. is Cold Zero. Sweet. Bourbon, what are you guys drinking over there?
Well, I just polished off the Heroes Edition, so I think I'm going to go to something that goes along with my T-shirt, something I cracked on the stream last night. Well,
Okay.
Little 8-year MGP. That
Nice.
is
What the? Oh no! Hold! What you got?
There's a
time
time
for peace and there's a time for war. This is time for war. Oh, dude, I love it. That is an excellent tater sticker right there. Yeah, contract is still in. Product. Yep, our own. Gotcha. Roger that. Totally picking up what you're putting down. Whiskey Wisdom is in the house. He was on live streaming earlier tonight. It's good to see you, Matt. Oh, Ken from Down Under. Oh, my Aussie brother, Ken. Yeah, it's good to see you, my friend. Richie Z says he's been sipping on some Evan Williams single barrel. Oh, dude. Evan Williams single barrels are good.
You know, Mark, we should crack one of those handles one of these days.
Say again, over?
We should crack one of those giant handles one of these days.
Well, we talked about it. Was it last week? That I cracked this 1783 Heroes with
No.
the other night.
I mean, the
one of the other ones, I cracked it, drank some of it, and then poured the rest of it in a small barrel to age it a little bit, and then brought it out, and it was freaking phenomenal after that.
Wait, I didn't hear about this, or if I did, I was really messed up.
I think you were a little. I think you were a little toasty.
All right, I want to hear more about that. Maybe in the after party.
Okay.
I might need to try some of that.
Oh, dude, it came out really well. Let's see. So going on to more military history from October. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with me for a second here. So we talked about that it was a National Navy Day, which was Navy Day is October 27th. That's weird.
They need to make
figured it'd be the same day as their birthday, but so one of the things that came up is that they wanted to you guys wanted to hear more about recent stuff, because we talk about Medal of Honor recipients and things that happened in Vietnam and World War II and stuff, and so bringing up more recent military. So I looked up current military news, and the first thing that came up was this: troops at Colorado Space Force Base will have to bring their own to-go boxes. I was just like, so Colorado Space Force Base, they're looking to minimize garbage and waste by having troops bring their own containers for to-go containers. And I had some conflicting feelings about this, because when I look up historical events in October in the military, I found a lot of the stories that we just shared about Vietnam, World War II, Battle of Mogadishu. And then when I look up current events, I'm seeing a Space Force base in Colorado trying to cut back on their garbage waste. I'm like, on a more global scale, we could do a lot better by trying to enforce countries like China and India from being the bigger polluters of our planet. So one dining facility eliminating to-go containers is not going to have a global impact, but we as a country could have a better global impact by convincing those other countries to do a better job instead of throwing all their garbage into the ocean. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind that was one of the stories that came up when I was looking at current military events.
That's sad.
And then I came across
Two
Hell
U.S.
yeah.
warships played a crucial role in countering Iran's massive missile attack on Israel. The Navy destroyers Cole and Bulkley launched around a dozen interceptors from positions in the eastern Mediterranean Sea, helping to stave off Tehran's onslaught. Pentagon officials did not say which kinds of ordnance the warships used or whether their intercepts were successful. U.S. and Israeli officials have reported that most of the Iran missiles were intercepted, and White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called the attack failed and ineffective. It remains unclear if and when Israel and the United States will respond to the attack.
All right, so that's telling us a lot right there that you're not hearing on most platforms. Iran launched an attack, and America interfered with it, whatever you want to call it.
Helped intercept. Yeah. You want to hear something more amazing about that? I believe it's 8 Iranians died because one of the missiles blew up on launch. One of the intercepted missiles fell on a person walking in Gaza and killed one of the Palestinians. Killed one guy in Palestine. There's actually video footage of it. It's pretty messed up. And literally the missile fell out of the air and landed on the guy. And
isn't it freaking wild that you're not hearing anything about Iran launching an attack and our troops?
Mm-hmm. Of course not. That's,
As of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the are we right now?
Yep.
So,
that's that real right there.
I tell you what. So we're going to talk about current military events. U.S. military deployments right now. Remember, everyone deployed. So roughly 160,000 troops are deployed right now outside of the U.S. borders. And so you can look it up and see that across the world, there's numbers here: Army, Navy, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Space Force. When it comes to any country, and it breaks it down by continent. All the troops that are deployed in every area.
Serious question. Why the hell is the Coast Guard in other countries?
I 100% agree. 100% agree. The Coast Guard should be just on our borders. That's it. That is my own personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Hopefully they're making. Well, bye, Joe. Making some people miserable, but I don't know what they're doing over there.
I don't know. But I thought it was interesting to hear that Iran launched a missile attack that the U.S. troops intercepted, and we have not heard about it at all. And so when I found that story, I wanted to share it with you guys because that is freaking wild to me.
Yep.
No, that was a Navy warship. That wasn't a Coast Guard warship. It was just when it came to looking at where service members are deployed, it has Coast Guard listed because they're in the Pacific Theater, the Atlantic Theater, or whatever, and so they're technically deployed. And so, just what Bourbon and I were just talking about.
No, what Richie said was, "Is there a Coast Guard warship?"
Is there? I don't know very much about the Coast Guard, bro. Drinking water. Appreciate you. Hey, you still got me over there?
Got about none.
Okay. Larkin, Bourbon yet? You reach out to the North? No, I don't know.
Well, yes, you, Mark, you have their info. Larkin, I believe, is the new name of Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Oh, really?
Yes, the one I gave you the info of the master distiller.
Right. Yeah, no, I have not reached out to them.
I mean, that's kind of lame. Just saying.
It is.
That's all right. Mark didn't want that info.
No, I want the Bourbon. Goodness.
I'm just saying that was like a hot minute ago.
Yeah, I know.
Do you need me to reach out and make the connection for you? You know.
No.
I'll do it.
I just need to remember to do it. October 19th, Cornwallis surrendered to Washington.
And William Hall, no, I don't have Starlink. I have a damaged underground main feeder line that I'm waiting to be repaired. So every once in a while, my signal will go a little wonky.
All right, guys. So we have talked about some significant military history that's happened in the month of October. Medal of Honor recipient from Vietnam, 2 Medal of Honor recipients from the Battle of Mogadishu, the Navy Day, which came from World War II. And we talked about some of the more current military news going on. And so, without further ado, I just want to thank you guys for all being here. And any after action comments, any suggestions for next month, or sustains or improves are more than welcome.
I mean, I would appreciate if when I was busy doing things, YouTube had given me a notification that you went live. I would have appreciated that.
Oh, so that's partially my fault because I was overwhelmed this week. I can say it bluntly.
No, I
did not put out the thumbnail until yesterday, and I did not advertise on other platforms until earlier today. And I'm saying in months in the future, I need to advertise further out.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I'm saying literally when you went live, I didn't get the pop-up. I didn't get the notification.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, YouTube stinks, even though they give us this platform.
So to go back around, so Veteran Whiskey of the Month, this Cold Zero, this is a solid $35 bottle.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
I like it. Like I said before, I haven't tried anything from Cedar Ridge that I did not like. I've liked everything I've tried from Cedar Ridge, and this one is no exception to that. And the fact that Chad shared with us, there are 5 Medal of Honor recipients in their group is freaking mind-blowing and amazing. I can't wait to get you guys on the show.
If Mark reaches out.
You're breaking my balls over here.
That's what they're there for.
That's what you're here for. If any of you guys want to jump in the backstage and join us for some uncut, unfiltered shenanigans, you're more than welcome to join. Until then, thanks for being here. Let's reconvene, get back in formation for November, the first Saturday of the month. All right, and with that,
don't forget about taps.
Oh, yep. We play taps on the way out. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you. Make sure you're drinking more water than you're drinking whiskey. Take care of those around you. Be a good influence on those within your sphere of influence. And we will see you next month here for the Veterans Whiskey Club live stream. Cheers, guys.